손을 써야지. 조심해요. 진정. 작별할 시간이야. 육체는 약하기 때문에 아름다운 거야.
हाँ 7 हो गया क्या अर्पण भाई? ऑलरेडी 7 हो गया। मैं समझा नहीं। टाटा सॉरी सानी। हेलो हैप्पी फूशैंग या फूशैंग आने वाला। फूशैंग जो भी शैंग है। नहीं 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 इसका एस्टरल का लाइव स्ट्रीम है ना 1.3 का आज। ओके गेम बंद करो। तो सोचा कि तुम लोगों के साथ वो लाइव स्ट्रीम देख लेता हूँ। फिर मुझे देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं। हाँ तुम्हारे ऊपर डिपेंड है। ओके एंजॉय। मैं 7 कहूँगा। ओके स्ट्रीम बफर मार रहा है क्या तुम्हारा? ओके आई थिंक
It's fortunate I could make it. My divination results predicted you making a fool of yourself. The show is about to start. Make sure you remember these words. You wouldn't want to tarnish the Xianzhou's reputation now, would you?
No, Master Diviner.
After me. Fulgurant Leap.
Fulgurant Leap.
Epical Spectrum.
Apical Spectrum.
Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle.
Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle.
The Swarm Disaster.
The Swarm Disaster.
Audience.
Audience.
Not bad. Make sure you recite them a few more times.
Master Diviner?
What is it now?
How do you say this one?
High Cloud Quintet.
We honor those who have passed on. We place items of the dead onto star skiffs and send them out to sail between the stars, to shine brightly among them.
Before you leave, please make time to recuperate. I must attend to some Cloud Knight matters. Farewell for now. All things in this world have their laws.
You know that I'm a descendant of the lawful Vidyadhara. You witnessed my secret strength, as March would call it.
As you can see, we added a few things to the simulated universe. Stephen Lloyd thinks this is a big achievement. We call it Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster.
And whether or not your world has a day-night cycle. Good morning, good afternoon, and you know the rest. Welcome to the version 1.3 Celestial Eyes Above Mortal Ruins special program. As always, your good buddy Albert's here to bring you all the latest intel on the upcoming version. Today, our three special guests are...
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Wiedenheft and I voice Fu Xuan.
What's up, guys? I'm Angelika Nupaneni, and I voice Sushang.
Hey Trailblazers, I'm Nicholas Liang, and I voice Dan Heng.
Welcome, welcome, and welcome again. I gotta say, that trailer was loaded with details on the new version. Sarah, anything stand out for you?
Well, I'm always excited for story updates, but that last segment caught my eye too. The Swarm Disaster? Was that it? It looked pretty intense.
I know. Did Herta upgrade the simulated universe again? You know, my Trailblazer senses are tingling.
The simulated universe will be getting some significant updates in version 1.3, but that's for later in the program. First, let's take a look at the new characters joining the war. First on the list, and finally revealing his true power, we have Dan Heng, Imbibitor Lunae.
Whoa, okay. So March wasn't bluffing. Dan Heng does have secret strength. But why would he suddenly reveal it after hiding it for so long?
Let's not forget, he did get impaled. Yeah, I think if he'd kept it under wraps any longer, he might have had trouble, staying alive. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Okay, it makes sense, but why the secrecy up till then?
Well, to answer that question, we gotta talk about Dan Heng's previous incarnation, Dan Feng, a member of the High Cloud Quintet.
That's right. I'm sure Trailblazers will have noticed that certain characters in the story have been referring to Dan Heng as Imbibitor Lunae. But Imbibitor Lunae is actually a title handed down as part of the Law Fu Vidyadhara High Elder Succession. The person they're referring to here isn't Dan Heng, but Dan Feng. Dan Feng was once the Law Fu Vidyadhara High Elder. He achieved great deeds for the Xianzhou in wartime, but ultimately committed an unforgivable sin.
Wait, but if Dan Heng's still alive, then Dan Feng's sin can't have been that unforgivable, right?
I think someone pulled a few strings. There's only one guy in the Law Fu who'd risk the Xianzhou's reputation like that. Jing Yuan.
Is that what a little bird told you, Albert? I never knew owls were so gossipy.
Oh, no. Jing Yuan's not to blame this time. The head of the Xianzhou Vidyadhara, the High Elder, possesses the power to transform into a dragon. The method of entrusting this power to the next head is a closely guarded secret, and the responsibility of each High Elder. We don't know the full story, but Dan Feng misused this method and sparked a terrible calamity. As a result, the Vidyadhara grew to hate Dan Feng, but executing him would have brought an end to the High Elder succession. They decided to use an exuviation charm, forcing him to reincarnate. Which is why Dan Heng is alive and well today.
The world of the Vidyadhara is complicated.
But why would Dan Feng cause so much trouble? I suspect there are a few more secrets waiting for us down the line.
Ah, the allure of the unknown. But fear not, Trailblazers. A banquet of delicious secrets awaits you. Now, let's take a look at how secret strength Dan Heng handles himself on the battlefield.
As an imaginary type character following the path of destruction, Dan Heng, Imbibitor Lunae's specialty, is consuming multiple skill points to trigger an array of powerful abilities. Tapping the skill button enhances the effects of Imbibitor Lunae's basic attack, Beneficent Lotus, up to 3 times in succession. Depending on the number of enhancements, Beneficent Lotus becomes Transcendence, Divine Spear, and Fulgurant Leap, respectively. Hits per action and damage dealt increase with each enhancement. Additionally, single target damage is replaced with multiple target damage in both Divine Spear and Fulgurant Leap.
In Imbibitor Lunae's talent, Righteous Heart, amplifies the damage he deals as the number of hits per action in the current turn increases.
Sounds like skill point management is going to be pretty important for Imbibitor Lunae's allies.
Hold that thought. When using his ultimate, Imbibitor Lunae deals imaginary damage to a single target and adjacent enemies, while also receiving a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta. Squama Sacrosancta can be used to offset Imbibitor Lunae's skill point consumption.
Man, Secret Strength Dan Heng is kind of a one-man band.
But that's not all. Imbibitor Lunae's technique, Heaven Quelling Prismadragon, allows him to enter a leaping dragon state for a set time. In this state, using an attack causes Imbibitor Lunae to lunge forwards a set distance and strike all enemies he comes into contact with. Entering battle in this way allows Imbibitor Lunae to acquire a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta.
And lo, Such is the frightful power of the High Elder. Now that we've introduced secret strength Don Hung, let's move on to an old friend of ours, the Master Diviner, Lady Fu Xuan. Her first encounter with the Trailblazers was pretty impressive.
From high above, amid a hail of bullets, came the words.
Your every move has been foreseen.
By the Omnisia.
Okay, you gotta admit, her bullet deflection game is on point. But I wonder, how'd she fare against a Star Knot, though?
Oh, yeah, I can't see her swatting one of those out of the sky.
Fu Xuan might have something to say about that.
Oh, okay.
Our hexagrammatic position is fluctuating between the earth and water trigrams. What do we have to fear? Let us counter this menace directly with the might of the Xianzhou.
Oh, Susheng translation. Hexagram says let's do this.
I think the Divination Commission would benefit from having Susheng as a translator.
Yes.
The Omnisia on Fu Xuan's forehead is a mysterious instrument that allows her to calculate her every move in advance. However, the immortal bodies of the Xianzhou natives exhibit adverse reactions to external augmentation. While the Omnisia may grant her incredible computational abilities, it also causes her pain and exhaustion.
Well, with great power, you know the rest.
That explains Fu Xuan's reliance on bubble tea, then, huh? I heard she drinks like 10 cups of Immortal's Delight a day.
No.
Hey, that sounds like gossip to me. What if Immortal's Delight is just heckin' delicious?
I suspect it is, though I'm sure the sugar helps. Running the Divination Commission and divining the fortunes of the Xianzhou, it's an exhausting gig.
All right, Anjali's right. No more bubble tea gossip. By way of apology, how about I treat everyone to 10 cups of Immortal's Delight after the show?
Yes! Now we're talking.
Let's talk about bubble tea there. It's time to take a look at how the Master Diviner showcases her abilities on the battlefield. Fu Xuan is a quantum-type character, following the path of preservation. But where other path of preservation characters mainly use shields for defense, Fu Xuan takes a different road.
Precisely. After using her skill, Fu Xuan activates the Matrix of Prescience, which lasts for a set number of turns. This allows Fu Xuan to absorb some of that damage for her allies. When the Matrix of Prescience is active, it grants the knowledge effect to the entire team, increasing characters' max HP and crit rate. Fu Xuan's talent offers a variety of effects. Firstly, Fu Xuan can provide a permanent misfortune avoidance state, reducing the damage taken by the entire team. Secondly, when Fu Xuan's HP drops below a set percentage, she recovers a set percentage of HP.
POV, you're Fu Xuan's enemy. Why are my attacks healing her?
That's not all. Fu Xuan's ultimate deals quantum damage to all enemies, but it also increases the frequency of her talent's HP restoration effect. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, Fu Xuan's technique can grant a barrier for the whole team that lasts for a set duration. During exploration, the barrier blocks all enemy attacks, thereby preventing battles that would otherwise have triggered in this way. Her technique also activates the Matrix of Prescience automatically at the start of the next battle.
That's our Master Diviner. Reliable and determined. No wonder she's got her sights set on the generalship. See, her style is very different to Jing Yuan's, but being a defensive backbone for her team is equally respectable. And you won't find her gardening or playing chess on the job either.
I didn't say it.
We're moving swiftly on to our final character. It's time we introduced a young girl from Bellaba, Lynx Landau.
Let's go.
her name ring a bell? You got it. She's the younger sister of Serval and Japard Landau.
You know, is it just me, or should everyone in the overworld be taking tips from Lynx? She's the only person I've seen who's dressed for the eternal freeze. Like, are the majority of Belabogians frost-resistant or something?
I think those geomarrow heaters keep the temperature relatively comfortable within the confines of the city.
Oh, so Lynx's winter gear is for venturing outside the city, right?
You got it. Lynx has always been drawn to the horizon. The centuries-old records of Yarilo VI's vibrant past, the beautiful auroras described by her teachers, the heroic tales of the Landau family. All of it pertains to the world beyond the city walls, what the Belabogians call the snow plains. Compared with her sister's enthusiasm and her brother's seriousness, Lynx is somewhat introverted and comfortable with solitude. She often ventures out alone into the perilous snow plains, which has allowed her to hone her wilderness survival skills.
Ooh, she's gonna be the world's smallest survival expert.
Now, she may be small, but she packs a punch. Let's dive right in and see just how powerful this Snow Plains Explorer really is.
Yeah, Lynx is a quantum-type character following the path of abundance who provides a variety of healing for her team. Her skill can restore HP to a single ally and grant them survival response for a set number of turns, boosting their max HP. If an ally with survival response follows the paths of destruction or preservation, the likelihood of them being targeted by enemy attacks increases.
Increased enemy aggression? Guess they're not fans of whatever's in that tin. Can't say that I blame them.
My, that looks like fermented herring? Ooh, it's my favorite. You guys want to try some?
No, I'm good.
No. Can you forget about the contents of the tin? This is a useful ability.
I'll say this. Directing enemy aggression towards characters who can take a hit is kinda genius.
Does she have any edible tricks up her sleeve?
This one looks safe for consumption. Lynx's ultimate restores health too and dispels one debuff from each ally.
That thing's huge!
I know. Yo, talk about a hard pill to swallow, huh?
Yeah.
Anyone? Sarah? No? Anjali?
See, I'm just wondering how she even fits it in her backpack.
Sometimes big things come in small packages. You know, I forgot to mention Lynx's talent. It can grant a continuous healing effect to targets of her skill and ultimate for a set number of turns. This effect will further restore a set amount of HP to characters with survival response. Similarly, her technique can also grant a continuous healing effect for a set number of turns, but to the entire team. Talk about being a reliable healer.
That's our little Snow Plains Explorer. We can all breathe a little easier with her on the team. Well, that concludes our new character introductions. Next up, let's take a look at the brand new 5-star light cones coming to the warp in version 1.3. To get us started, how about a Path of Destruction light cone, brighter than the sun?
Yeah.
Is there anything brighter than the sun?
If there is, we should tell Imbibitor Lunae about it. Someone needs some vitamin D.
Hey, come on. He's looking pretty good for a man suspended in chains. You know what I mean? Yeah?
Fair point. Now, on to a Path of Preservation light cone.
Poor girl. Everything changed in an instant.
Thrown suddenly into an endless reliance on bubble tea.
Speaking of bubble tea, Albert, any chance we can fast track that offer? Yeah.
No. Now, during the first phase of version 1.3 in the character warp, Epical Spectrum, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Don Hung and Imbibitor Lunae. And in the corresponding light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, brighter than the sun, will be boosted. During the second phase of version 1.3 in the character warp, foreseen, foreknown, foretold, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Fushwin. Not to mention the 4-star character Lynx, who will also be joining the warp.
Yes.
During the corresponding light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone she already shut her eyes will be boosted. And that's all she wrote on light cones and warps. But don't leave just that now. More exciting updates are right around the corner. Welcome back, dear viewers. Let's pick up where we left off. In the preceding story, and thanks to the collaborative efforts of Jing Yuan and Don Hung, Fantilia was banished and the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was resolved. And yet, as the dust settles, easing the fears of the citizenry becomes a new priority.
Rightly so. Helping people get back to their old lives is a big part of rebuilding.
And more often than not, responding to a disaster is trickier than preventing one.
In version 1.3, the Trailblaze mission obsequies performed, A Long Road Ahead will reveal a glimpse of the Xianzhou's recovery efforts. We'll also be seeing the likes of 4 new companion missions: The Dragon Returns Home, Total Recall, Farther Than the Snow Plains, and Mohashle.
In The Dragon Returns Home, we find Dan Heng in the turbulent wake of the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. He must face up to his past life and meet with the current Vidyadhara High Elder, Lady Bai Lu.
Meanwhile, in Total Recall, March 7th makes a big decision. Having witnessed the wonders of the Matrix of Prescience Ultima, she decides to ask Fu Xuan for the Matrix's help in rediscovering her past.
Farther Than the Snow Plains focuses on the youngest member of the Landau family. Lynx returns from an expedition with something troubling her, and her siblings, Serval and Japard, are at a loss to help. They decide to seek the assistance of none other than the Trailblazer.
And last but not least, Mohashle. Wildfire member and Fight Club reigning champion Luca has returned to Boulder Town. He wastes no time in inviting the Trailblazer and Zila to help him in completing a special bout of training.
Ooh, nice cinematic read there, Albert. I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh, those names are so intriguing. I feel like these missions will answer a lot of questions. Like, why is Bai Lu the current Vidyadhara High Elder? And is March 7th truly as many people suspect?
This is hardly the domain of unverified rumors. Ours is a serious program.
Serious? More like bubble tea gossip central.
Speaking of bubble tea, fine, I'll wait.
In our next segment, we'll be talking version 1.3 events. Exalting Sanctum's Aurum Alley was once a hub of commerce and crowds, but has gradually fallen into obscurity over the last millennium. The blink of an eye for a long-life species. And now, as the IPC's corporate interference encroaches upon the Laofu, the people sense danger and are striving to breathe new life into old trades. In the Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle event, Trailblazers are thrown right into the action with an opportunity to influence the alley's ultimate fate.
Wait. What do we need to do exactly?
Well, shops of numerous sizes can be found in the newly reopened Aurum Alley district. By arranging cargo shipments and planning logistics routes, trailblazers can accumulate funds. These funds can be used to progressively revamp the urban landscape of Arum Alley, helping it return to its former glory.
By achieving goals in this limited time event, players can earn self-modeling resin, tracks of destiny, stellar jade, and 4-star character Sushang.
Nice.
Following this limited time event, Arum Alley will remain in the game as a permanent mode. This mode includes rewards such as the Arum Alley themed phone wallpaper, Ingenium Dreams.
What? That's something we haven't seen before?
That's right. Phone wallpapers are a new feature being added to version 1.3. Trailblazers can browse and replace their wallpapers using the in-game mobile menu.
Nice.
So pretty.
Isn't it? All right, folks. It's time to talk about a big update to the simulated universe.
Finally! I thought for a moment you might have accidentally left it out.
The cheek! How could I, your humble living servant, make you wait?
I mean, we're still waiting on those bubble teas, so I'm just saying.
In any case, the update is the collaborative effort of 4 genius minds. They call it Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster. They completed a broad spectrum of structural renovations purely to investigate the fall of an eon.
The Swarm Disaster. Sounds like it might have something to do with, what is that eon's name again? Tazy something?
Tazeroth, the Eon of Propagation.
That's the one.
Interesting. What motivated Herta and her team to research the Imperator Insectorum?
Ooh, I'll tell you. From the story so far, we've heard that the propagation once caused a major swarm, which spread throughout the universe. This eventually caught the attention of multiple eons who united to eradicate it. This event involved more eons than any other recorded event in history, which of course makes it an excellent research subject.
So that's how it is.
In order to delve into this complicated history, Herta and her team have developed various new methods of exploration. In Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster, the stage maps will appear in a format similar to a chessboard. Trailblazers will need to navigate through randomly generated domains and tackle a variety of challenges before making it to the deepest parts of the simulation.
I'm assuming these geniuses had more in mind than simply maneuvering around a grid.
Right you are. In order to simulate the experiences of different pathstriders and resonate with the eons, a brilliant mind named Steven developed the audience die and communing device.
Oh, audience die? Oh, come on, Albert. That's not a nice thing to say to the audience.
Die as in singular for dice.
Okay.
It has to do with the eons bestowing random gifts upon pathstriders. Before progressing each turn, use the communing device to roll the audience die. This will generate special effects for the current turn. These special effects might provide our team with powerful buffs, or alter the chessboard in some way, or even create further variables for subsequent actions. The chessboard and grids are superficial. The true intent of the geniuses is to delve into the mysteries of the eons. Each exploration will encompass 3 planes corresponding to Imperator Insectorum's emergence, expansion, and demise. Trailblazers will encounter simulated historical events during these phases, and different responses will lead to different outcomes.
But do these simulations really recreate the truth?
The official response is that due to the many historical unknowns, all potential outcomes are valuable. The data helps us infer the most probable truth.
And the unofficial response?
Madam Herta said, and I quote, "You can't prove that the past wasn't like this, can you?"
How exceptional. Undeniably a genius.
Madam Herta has also developed a path space for the express purpose of enhancing the resonance between trailblazers and their paths. As a trailblazer, every action you take that aligns with your path during exploration can help you to obtain path energy, leading you closer to the eons.
And what can we expect when we get closer to the Eons?
Once you have sufficient path energy, you'll be able to unlock specific buffs and the chance to interact directly with the corresponding Eon, thereby uncovering their part in the swarm disaster.
Okay, so we've been hearing those words a lot, but none of this feels swarmish or disastery enough to me.
Say no more. In the final domain of the third plane of each exploration, Trailblazers will encounter a brand new enemy, the Swarm True Sting. True Stings have the ability to divide and create more swarms. If not dealt with promptly, the entire battlefield will eventually be overrun by the swarm. Sufficiently swarmy? Suitably disastery?
Yeah, okay, that's plenty. Gives me the creeps just thinking about it.
Finally, upon clearing Simulated Universe, the swarm disaster, the brand new path of propagation will be unlocked within the Simulated Universe.
Hey, what a roller coaster. That's a big update, all right.
And big updates need big rewards. Take note. Aside from Stellar Jade and numerous other materials, the Swarm Disaster rewards include 2 self-modeling resins.
Woo! Those things are rarer than rare. Are there really 2 up for grabs?
You better believe it. And I highly encourage Trailblazers to give it a go. Next up is the Space Station Task Force event. Revitalizing the space station is no small undertaking. If we want to speed things up, we'll need to enlist the help of a task force with special permissions. Watson has lined up all the assignments that require attention. Over to you, Trailblazers. During the event, by assembling a team that meets the requirements of specific assignments, you'll be able to earn rewards such as Stellar Jade and character experience materials.
And as the message makes clear, there will be requests and assignments every day. It's almost impossible to finish them all.
Version 1.3 will also see the return of the Planar Fisher and Garden of Plenty events. During the respective events, successfully challenging the Simulated Universe and Calyxes can earn you a set amount of double rewards. At the same time, version 1.3 will unlock 2 new Stagnant Shadow stages, Shape of Puppetry and Shape of Abomination. The former will drop Suppressing Edict, Ascension material required for Don Hung and Bibita Lune. The latter will drop Nail of the Ape, Ascension material required for Fu Xuan.
Whoa, all that too?
Oh, and I'm not done with you yet. Version 1.3 system updates are just as momentous. First off, after the version 1.3 update, the Trailblaze power cap will be raised from 180 to 240. Exactly the amount that regenerates in a day. Once Trailblaze power maxes out, a percentage of the surplus is converted into reserved Trailblaze power.
So in other words, if you forget to log on, you won't have wasted much Trailblaze power.
And here's something else. The 1.3 update will also bring changes to the friends and chat systems, which include being able to sort your friends. And Trailblazers not currently accepting new friend requests can choose to disable them in settings. Icing on the cake, you can now send emojis in chats.
Oh, at last, bring on the pom-pom and March 7th emojis.
Yeah.
Nice. Fingers crossed for some authentic boomer material.
And of course, we have the crowd favorite, Gift of Odyssey Chicken Rewards.
Logging in for 7 days gets you 10 warps. It might just be your lucky break.
Nicholas, I admire your confidence.
Look at you.
Last but not least, Honkai Star Rail will also be a part of this year's Gamescom. What surprising updates await us? Watch this space, Trailblazers.
Yeah.
So cool.
Nice.
Let's roll out today's final redemption code. good things must come to an end, and so must today's special program. We've covered quite a bit about the 1.3 update. Any thoughts or feelings from our guests? What are you most looking forward to?
Man, so much to choose from, but for me, it's gotta be the characters. Dan Heng and Baibuder Lune, Fu Xuan, and Lynx are all special in their own way. I just hope I get lucky with the warps.
And as for me, I'm super excited about the simulated universe update. The new gameplay and story aspects sound brilliant.
Yeah. Well, since you guys covered the obvious, I'll go for something a little different. I feel like this version's quality of life enhancements are really good. I love the Trailblaze power cap increase and the new Reserve Trailblaze power feature. They may sound minor, but I think they'll make a big difference to the experience.
Oh, totally! And I'm sure the gaming experience will keep improving as the updates keep rolling. Well, that's it for the Honkai Star Rail version 1.3 special program. As always, thanks again to all you Trailblazers for tuning in. And may our paths cross again soon.
Bye, guys!
Catch you later.
See you next time.
Bubble tea, bubble tea, bubble tea.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, bye.